Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Julie with Bookshelf by Julie. Okay, we're on our 100-day challenge again. We're on day 13. Today I thought I would do a little bit of stuff with book pages. It's always good to have something like that in your stash. Really. I mean, you know, book pages, you can make them go with just about anything. Let me get this out of the way. You can use all sorts of book pages. I like to be careful when I'm using a book page. If I'm just going to use the one page, I want at least the outside to be going the right direction. You got bottom stems here, and you got, this is an Edith Holden page. On this one I forgot to sew across here, but that's okay. I can put lace across this part of it. Now, also with book pages, they are a bit fragile. Some of them are pretty thick, and you can do lots with. But yeah, I like to have things go in the right direction. So you have to do this strategically, right? Yeah. But you can do a lot of things with book pages. These are just little pouch envelopes. This is a pouch envelope. And I'm going to show you how to do this. I did, I put 2 pages together. That thickens it up, gives it some more strength, right? And put a Velcro dot on there. Anyways, you can decorate them ever how you want. Now the back is upside down, but the front and the front is right side up. And when you open it, it's right side up. I figured the back would probably go down as a pocket or be covered with something else, or whatever you want to do with that kind of thing. Okay? So, as you notice, this has been printed on. That's not hard to do, guys. It's a pretty simple process. You can print on it, print something pretty, right? And I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Okay? Another thing you can do with book pages is, if you don't have a sewing machine to sew them, you can just glue them. I mean, you know, it's just a thing. But you can also do some hand stitching. On this one, I've stitched all around, tied a bow in the corner. It's really pretty to do that. Yeah. Pretty simple. Just a running stitch, in and out, in and out. Anybody can do that. So if you don't have a machine, or you don't want to pull it out and work on it, you know, this is the way to do it. I did back these, make them journal cards, so you can write on the back there. But isn't that just beautiful? I'll share some of the I'll share some of the books that I've used in these with these papers in just a minute. This is still just a this is a back stitch, so you can make it, you know, zigzaggy if you want to, right? You just go in and then come back out. It's really simple. And this one is just a running stitch. But isn't that beautiful? What a big, nice journal card. Wow, lots of space to write on, and a beautiful picture. Okay, so I'm going to put these aside, and I'll show you how to do printing on a book page. This is a piece of copy paper. Pretty simple, right? Okay, so what I do, now this is just me. There's lots of different ways to do it, okay? My printer is going to feed from the top. All right. So I'm going to put it pretty close to the top. I'm not going to worry about the rest of it, okay? This is the part that's going to feed through. Once it's fed through, once it comes up and comes through the printer mechanism, the rest of it's just going to lay still. You don't have to worry about this. I don't. In my printer, this is what I do, okay? Now, you want to take just put a thin amount on here. I know it looks thick, but I'm just getting just the edge there, because you want that edge down really well. And that is what we're going to trim off. That's what I did with that one. Just trim off the edge where, because you've got this tape on there, and that's not going to print. It'll print on the tape, but it will not print on the book page there, okay? So I'm just taking this is just tape that you use to wrap a gift with, right? Just, they call it invisible tape. It's not invisible, but anyways, it's that kind of thing. Where did that go to? Maybe it is a little invisible. No, it's not invisible. You can see it. Okay. You mostly want most of that edge down, and you want your corners for sure, okay? Now that's ready to go into the printer. The printer is not going to even know that that exists. It's just going to print normally, just like it would. Now you have to think again strategically. Is your printer going to pull it through this way, or is it going to pull it through and come back up, right? So my printer is going to pull it through and come back up. So I'm going to put it in like so. Yeah? And then it's going to pull it up and it's going to print on this side, right? Okay, so since I can't do this at my printer, guys, I can't handle a cell phone, a printer, and a piece of paper, and a wheelchair all at the same time. It's complicated. So I'm going to go print on this, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to take it off and trim that. And I mean, it's really simple. And then I'll show you those books and such. And then we got to put this on this one and make one of these, right? Okay. Anyways, I'll be right back. Okay, here it is. Same page. If you looked, same page, and it's printed. Now you can kind of tell the book page is going to pick up the ink a little bit different than a white page, you know, copy paper. But all we're going to do is just peel this off. Yep. Take it off of the backing paper. Now see, that's just super simple, guys. If you've got some old books that are really pretty, or that you just like them and you want to add into your, come on, and you want to add them into your journals or whatever, this is really easy to do. I've been doing this for years. Other people have been doing this for years. It's just a thing. You can do it. Okay? Now that's the part that you're going to just trim off. Carefully. See if I can get this one to do it. Maybe. We'll see. Sometimes with book page or whatever, really thin papers, this doesn't really want to do, you know, the trimming because it's so thin. But, yep, that's okay. Alright, now we've got this. Get this out of the way. There's a lot of ways you can work with book pages. Like I showed you, you can do, just make them a page in your journal if you want. So this one's not printed on this side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one that I had already printed, and it's printed on both sides. So anyways, I'm going to put it on here like so, and then once I get them together, I'll trim off what I don't want, and we'll make our pouch with it, okay? Now, like I said, you don't have to sew. I'm going to sew it because, you know, it's a thing. But you don't have to. You can glue it. You can hand stitch it. You can, whatever you want to do with it, you know. But I'm going to show you how I do this. Now, you don't have to do it this way. There's loads of people doing this all over the place, all right? So I just want it to be still, okay? You can use a glue stick. I recommend using a really strong glue stick if you're going to use glue stick, okay? I hardly ever use glue stick. Just my preference, my personal preference is not to use it, but on something like this, it's okay, all right? So I just want it to tack down, so I'm just going to do like that. That's about all. That's what I use a glue stick for. Anyways, I want to put this as straight as possible on here. And then, you know, just let it tack down. It's going to move and wibble wobble around when I do the sewing. It just will. So that's the way That's why you trim it out after you get it sewn. Trim it out, and I think I'm going to trim a little bit on the top and the bottom now. But then just, you know, don't worry about it too much. It's book page, right? So let me get this trimmed sort of even. And then it will move around though. I mean, there's not a lot you can do about that. When the machine pulls it through, it's going to be, you know, this way and that way. And it'll just move a little. It's not that noticeable, and most of the time you can't tell it when other people are doing it on video. I'm just going to be honest and tell you, it's going to move a little bit because the thing underneath when you're sewing it on the machine, that's pulling it through like so. And so when you're doing that and the top's being held still by the foot that's down on it, it's going to wibble wobble, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take it back apart is what we're going to do, if I can. That's really strong glue stick. Because I didn't do what I was supposed to do, like a silly. Come on, let go. I hope I don't rip it. I hope I don't. Come on, go. It really is a strong glue stick, okay? What you want to do is put one going one way, one this way, and one this way. Does that make sense? You want the writing right side up this way and right side up this way. So if you turn it over, it's upside down over here and right side up over here, okay? That's the plan, okay? So let me get this line back up. So, you know, do that first. Get it lined up first, yeah? So, yep, just tacking it down. And as you saw, it holds really well. If you're going to use a glue stick, use one that says permanent and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. All right, now, now that we've got it this way, and this way, then we're going to do this number where now see, it's going to be a little off, but that's okay. We're going to fold it up like so, just kind of eyeballing it, yeah? And we're going to fold this down just to reach over the top. I want about an inch or so overlap, okay? Now, that gives us words here, right way up, words here, right way up, okay? Now, what I'm going to do, excuse me, is I'm going to take and trim this again, because I want it as straight as I can get it before I put it in the machine, which is going to wibble wobble it around a little bit, you know. Just saying. Okay. There. You have to be careful doing your trimming. You do, because it's going to be a little bit different, you know. Once you fold it, it's going to make things a little different. And once you sew it, it's going to make things a little different. And you have to be careful of things like that, which I'm not going to worry about because it is a book page. And yeah. But see, it took that little corner off. I don't care. That's fine. On a book page pouch envelope, that's absolutely fine. Which way did I go with this? This way. Yes, no? Yes, this way. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to the machine. Once again, I can't do the cell phone, the wheelchair, the machine, and the... It's too much all at one time. So I'm going to go sew this, and I'll be right back and show you the results. Hold on a second. Okay, so in true Murphy's Law fashion, like, you know, every time you do something on video, my bobbin ran out, and I had to refill that, and, you know, all that kind of razzmatazz, but it turned out all right. So yeah, all you do is just, I don't know, just play around with what you've got. And that's ready to make a really nice, now I stitch at the bottom. You don't have to stitch at the bottom. I just think it's pretty. It's just for decorative. It does take up some of the space of your pouch, but I still think it's pretty, so I do it. So I do it. So yeah, you've got your right side up writing here, your right side up writing here, and your right side up writing here. And so much space to decorate and make things pretty, okay? This can go into just, well, any journal, really. You've got so much that you can do with something like this. It could really seriously go in any journal. Now, let me show you the books. I do try to be careful with the books I use because I don't want to find no dirty words in my journals, okay? If you go back before the 70s, you're probably safer with the older vintage books. This one is A Child's Verses, and that's Robert Louis Stevenson. Now, you have to be careful getting this book because not all of them are the color illustrated. Sometimes you'll just get the black and white versions, and that wasn't... I got fooled a few times, but see this right here, that trim that out, and it would make a beautiful journal card. Just absolutely gorgeous stuff in here. Just all these go along with his poems and such, but they're really beautiful, and that's where I got these pictures from, was this book. And they're just, it's full of them. Beautiful. I don't know that I would use that one. You know, illustrations are one thing and another, but I do like some of these. That one's absolutely beautiful. I love that one. You know, it's going to go in a journal someday, or maybe even in a Happy Mail someday. Who knows? It's a thing. That one's beautiful. There are a lot of different ones. I like that one. It's really big, so I would have to trim it down just, you know, a touch. But a lot of them are just, they're just beautiful images. Different sizes. Seashells. They're just beautiful. That one would go great in a gardening journal. I mean, really. The Secret Garden even. Because, you know, it kind of reminds me of that. Gives you that vibe. That one would be great. I mean, there's so much. I mean, it is full, guys. It is so full of different ones. Now, this is a book block from The Little Women. The Little Women you're safe with. And generally, you're going to get big pages. You might get a few illustrated pages. You're going to find some that are going to be, some of them are color illustrated, and those are nice to make journal cards. I think I've used all of those out of here to make journal cards with. But this is the pages that I printed on today. I like The Little Women. It's one of my favorite books, one of my all-time favorite books, and it's really easy to print on. It's a thicker-ish paper. You can print on any of it, though. I mean, really, just stick it to the top and go through your printer. It's like butter. And then, of course, we've got our all-time, you know, this is our go-to, oh my gosh, you know, it's Edith Holden, right? It's, this book, I thought, oh, I've got a treasure. It's a beautiful, you don't always get the best quality of Edith Holden books over here in the States, okay? Over yonder across the pond, they get them like going and coming. It's just all over the place, but not over here. And I've started taking this one apart. The one thing that's interesting about this one is that you get in here and some of the pages are upside down, which is interesting, and they just made it that way. It came that way from the publisher, and yeah, that's connected, guys. That's upside down. So it's okay. I mean, you know, it's still a beautiful book, and I use this sparingly, you know, because it's Edith Holden, and they're not always they're not cheap over here, okay? You just don't find them cheap. But, and this is the one that was, let's see, was it this one or that one? I think it was this. No. Anyways, we've got several different ones on the envelopes. I use them sparingly, carefully. They're beautiful pages. I love the writing that they put in, because, you know, it's handwriting and all that. And these big, beautiful images, safe. You don't find dirty words and things like that, right? But you can find these little treasures here and there. And I keep them very carefully together, because once you start taking them apart, you want to, now I've used this book cover for something else, so, but once I start taking them apart, I try to keep them all kind of where they go-ish with the book. At least, you know, like this one, I've got a bunch of stuff just stuffed in here, but it's Edith Holden, so you know. Anyways, these are the books that I used today in this video. This I printed on. These I shared, these hand-stitched. See, you don't have to have a machine. You can make them, and you can use decorative embroidery stitching on these. I don't call it slow stitching. I don't know where that came from. It wasn't from me. Embroidery is a craft. It's an art. If you do it on a machine, then it's machine embroidery. If you do it by hand, then it's hand embroidery. But it's still embroidery. So, alright. That's my soapbox for today. Edith Holden ones. Really pretty. This is another Edith Holden one. Those can go into just about any journal. This one I've already got decked out. I put a button there. You've got, you know, I did some stamping in this one. Stamping is coming up, guys. Seriously. You can do whatever you want to do. If you don't want to chance it and print, it's not really taking a chance. You put that down on the top and it's going to shoot just right through like butter. I mean, I don't think any printer is going to have a problem with it. Book pages are pretty thin anyways. So, but if you don't want to do the printing on it, you can do stamping on it. I stamped and stenciled and all sorts on that. I just put butterflies all over it. But still, remember to put them, one going right side up one way and one going right side up the other way. That way you've got right side up on the front. Anyways, it's the best way. It's the best way I've found to do it. Okay, this one I think is from the Sisters Journal. Yep. Anyways, little embellishments and stuff like that. Just, you can do all kinds of stuff with these. Book pages, they're fun to play with. I do hoard a little bit when I find a beautiful one and, you know, make these and you go, you know, because it's just pretty, right? That would go in just about any garden journal. This would go in a fall journal. This would go in a fall or spring journal, because actually she's looking through there and I think there's some eggs in a nest. So, you know, just beautiful, beautiful pages that you can turn into all sorts of stuff, right? Lots and lots and lots and lots. So if you want to have a play with some book pages, there's you some ideas and inspiration, I hope. It's easy to do. It really is. And you come out with something really beautiful. And if you want to, you know, print on it, that's the easiest way I found to do it. Some people glue the whole page down. You don't have to do that. You can just simply do the top. And it's going to lay still. I mean, the printer's holding it still after it gets a hold of it. It's just going to pull it right through. So, anywho, there you go. Doing that is really fun and easy. Okay, so I'm going to quit rambling on now. Go have some fun. Play with some book pages. Be careful what books you get, because, you know, dirty words happen. And before the 70s, you're pretty safe-ish. I'm saying ish. But after that, be careful. Because you can get some things that, and then it can run a whole beautiful journal. You can cover it up. Some people do that. But if you want to read a whole book that's got dirty words just so you can cover them up, I don't want to do that. I just go with the safe, safe stuff, okay? Anyways, you guys take care. Please like and subscribe. Oh, wait a minute. We did it again. This is, hold on a second. This is day 13. Woohoo! There may be a few more of those woohoos. Okay, day 13 of our 100-day crafting challenge is done. You guys take care. Please like and subscribe. Pretty please. Thanks for watching. TTFN.